We are now driving towards Santiago de Compostela, the historic heart of Galicia and the final stop on the Camino de Santiago. When we arrived, it was around 5 p.m. and it was already dark because it was Christmas time. We went straight to the cathedral and passed by a restaurant with the Botafumeiro design outside. This is the 18th century horse fountain with a statue of Faith holding a star at the top. This is the entrance to the cathedral, the Platerias door. Our main goal and what we are most excited to see is the tomb of St. James the Greater, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus and the patron saint of pilgrims. Upon seeing the main altar, I was in awe and even got goosebumps. It is truly grand with a large decorative baldachin and angels rising above it. The statue of St. James at the center of the altar depicted as a pilgrim wearing a cloak, wide-brimmed hat, and carrying a staff and scallop shell, the traditional symbols of Camino de Santiago, the Spanish Baroque organ from 1704. The tomb of St. James is located in the crypt beneath the main altar. His remains are preserved in a silver reliquary together with those of his two disciples, St. Athanasius and St. Theodore. This 8-pointed symbolic star behind the main altar represents the guiding star connected to the discovery of St. James' tomb. According to tradition, a hermit named Pelayo saw a star shining over a field in Galicia. The site was investigated by Bishop Teodomir and St. James' tomb was discovered here. The name Compostela evolved from Campus Stellae, which means field of star. Above the doorway are the busts of Pope Benedict XVI and Pope John Paul II. Immediately beyond it is a gilded statue of St. James. We ended the day with a simple meal of cava, pulpo a la gallega, bocadillo de jamon, pimientos de padron, and vieras al horno. The next morning, we returned to the cathedral to attend the 9:30 morning mass. The pilgrimage route to Santiago, named for St. James in Spanish, became one of the three great Christian pilgrimages alongside Rome and Jerusalem. According to early Christian tradition, St. James the Greater traveled to Spain to preach the gospel after Christ's ascension. Following this mission, he returned to Jerusalem where he was executed around 44 AD by Herod Agrippa I. Later legend holds that his disciples transported his body by boat back to Spain and buried him in what is now Santiago de Compostela. As I have mentioned previously, his tomb was discovered by Pelayo and Bishop Teodomir around 813 to 814 AD. Once again, we're in Platerias Square, facing the 18th century Fountain of the Horses, topped by a statue of Faith holding the star that marks the discovery of St. James' tomb. After Mass, we joined the others for perpetual adoration. The cathedral contains several side chapels and one of them is dedicated to Our Lady of Lourdes, the Holy Water Font. And here hangs one of the most spectacular symbols of the pilgrimage, the Botafumeiro, the smoke spreader. Weighing nearly 50 kilos, this enormous censer fills the cathedral with clouds of incense during major celebrations. We are entering Santa Maria la Antigua de la Cortisela Church. Built in the 9th century as a separate church for monks, it later became incorporated into the cathedral structure. The 17th century Christ in the tomb. The 16th century statue of Jesus praying in the Garden of Gethsemane. The 15th century bronze baptismal font. Behind the altar is the 16th century Virgin of Consolation, a 16th century statue of the Santo Niño of German origin, traditionally linked to the devotion of the Santo Niño of Prague. We've now stepped out of the Church of Santa Maria la Antigua de la Cortisela and returned to the cathedral. Here we can take a look of some of the other side chapels around the cathedral. This is the chapel of Our Lady of the Pilar, an ancient devotion linked to the apparition of the Blessed Virgin Mary to Saint James in Saragossa, encouraging him in his mission here in Spain. Above the altarpiece is a painting of the apparition of the Virgin to Saint James. The San Martin Pinario Monastery. It faces the Plaza da Azabaqueria or Plaza da Immaculada. The Obradorio Square, the main, largest, and most iconic square. It lies directly in front of the Baroque main facade. It's here in Obradorio Square that pilgrims often cry, overwhelmed as they reach the final destination of the Camino de Santiago. At Christmas, this square transforms with wooden rides, giving children a little festive joy, completely free. You can also catch the tourist road train here in Obradorio Square to explore the city.
Thank you so much.
The Chapel of Souls, built in 1788. The 17th century Iglesia de San Agustin. The Mercado de Abastos is the place to be for fresh Galician seafood. And while we waited for our seafood to be cooked, we enjoyed a few drinks nearby.
Smile.
We also bought some of Santiago de Compostela's famous cookies and tarts. The Epiphany is sculpted above the entrance of this church of San Fis de Salobio, which dates back to the 9th century. And of course, we grabbed some Ibereco ham too. And again, the day ended with a bottle of cava and Galician specialties.
Semi-seco.
But is that the one that mom likes?
Good? Masarap yan? Yeah, you go, my man.
What?
Thank you for watching, guys, and God bless.